Today, in this video, we'll be learning about the philosophical aphorisms and exercise to execute in our life to make us better thinker and to get rid of other stresses and unwanted feelings. Number 1. Control and choice. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. When then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own. As soon as I learned this amazing wisdom, I just reflected into my journal. So I asked to myself, how am I going to implement and practice? So my answer was, I must evaluate my thoughts and emotions very deeply and noteworthy perspective in order to identify what kind of emotions am I dealing with. Frustrations, anger issues, stress, overthinking. After I grasp the particular problem, I must affirm I can control my thoughts, emotion, and the things that are controllable, things that are in my control. I must not let my mind and body to act and react instantly. I must pause, think deeply, realize this philosophy, act calmly and peacefully. For instance, it was all about yesterday. I had a miserable day, the worst day of my life. It was so pressurizing work. The thing is, I couldn't make it on time. I was really unpunctual and I couldn't calculate the odds and uncertainty that would come in a way. I failed my most important work yesterday. And when I returned back home, I couldn't resist my overthinking. And I just kept on thinking again and again. As much as I kept thinking on and on, I was paralyzed by negative thoughts and I couldn't do anything about that situation. So I affirmed myself about this stoic philosophy. That situation has already gone and I don't have control over my past. I do not have control over what has already happened. So the control that I have is, what am I gonna do today? How am I going to make it better? What is my next move? What is my next plan? The world has not fallen apart. I can reshape it. I can make it again. That's what I can control. Number 2. Be ruthless to the things that don't matter. How many have laid waste to your life when you weren't aware of what you were losing? How much was wasted in pointless grief, foolish joy, greedy desire, and social amusements? How little of your own was left to you? You will realize you were dying before your time. Why does this statement hold the significance to be used? I asked myself. Why does this statement hold the significance to be used? It embodies a refined idea as it empowers us to have a control over our emotions we develop in a terrible situations, a time-consuming, ambivalent emotions in a chaotic moment. We must be aware of our limited source, that is time. We need to be disagreeable to the toxic emotions and to the people and things that don't matter and uncontrollable situations, such as to invitations, to failure, to the request to the stuff that everyone else is doing. Learn to say no, thank you. No, I'm not going to caught up in that. No, I just can't right now. So number 3, clarify your intentions. Robert Greene writes, by planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking far ahead. Begin with an end in mind. So my perspective into is this wisdom implies a proper plan, path, to walk through with consciousness and imagination of destination to where you want to reach from beginning to end. This visualization of a plan brings you out the direction you needed. Self-awareness and purpose gets developed in a way.